everyone, my name is Sarah and today I'm going to be sharing my holiday TBR. Undoubtedly, the hardest thing to decide when you're going on holiday is not what clothes you're gonna take, it's what books you're gonna take. Like, how many paperbacks are you gonna take? How many ebooks? How many audiobooks? What's gonna happen if you run out? The world is gonna explode, everyone's gonna die, it's gonna be the worst thing ever. I feel like that's not just me. I feel like that's a universal problem that all bookworms have. When I went on vacation to New Zealand for 2 weeks, I took 11 books with me because I figure if I read like 6 books one week and 5 books the other week, that's pretty standard in terms of my reading. So maybe I went a little bit overboard then, but I did read 8 of the books, so it's not a complete waste. But yes, I wore the same t-shirt for like 5 days in a row, so minor regrets. And then there's that time when I went to China and I was coming home and I also brought like a ridiculous amount of books with me, and I shoved 2 in the waistband of my trousers and 2 up my shirt because my bag was over the limit and that was the only way I could get my books home. And I already left 4 books at the hotel. Like, you can't expect me to leave more books in China. That's not gonna happen. So as you can tell, it's a pretty stressful experience for me. I'm trying to decide the correct balance between books that I'm gonna take and books that I'm planning on reading. But I have devised a TBR for my vacation and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have enough stuff to read and I'll like all the books that I'm taking. On my TBR, I have 4 physical books, 3 audiobooks, and 1 ebook. So let's hope I have enough content. And I can always just like download more ebooks. That's not a problem. It's just reading on a tiny phone screen that I really dislike. But hey, I'm not gonna be one of those Kindle people. I feel like that isn't me. I need to stay true to my paperback loving self and leave ebooks for people who know what to do with them and know how to work Kindles. The ebooks on my phone are like for absolute emergencies. So I'm going to start with the physical books on my TBR, the first one of which is Game of Thrones. Yes, as you may know, I watched the entirety of Game of Thrones, all 8 seasons in 6 weeks, and I'm very proud of myself. That's gonna be a fact that I just whip out at parties for like the next decade. Not that I go to parties, but like literally any social event, I'll be like, hey, did you know that I watched all of Game of Thrones in 6 weeks? I need to feel like I've achieved something other than just sitting on a couch for 80 hours. But now that Game of Thrones is over, I want to read the books because, hey, I'm trash for this series now. And I desperately miss Arya, our badass little assassin. Oh, what a queen. So I'm gonna start with the first one. This is my friend's copy, so it's a little bit battered. But yeah, we'll see if I enjoy it. This is a really thick one, so at least this will take me a few days to read and I won't just like devour on the way over there. Look, who knows? It's a 24-hour flight. I feel like I could get through this in 24 hours. I've also heard the first book covers the first series, so it would be really great to revisit that rather than rewatch it and feel like I've accomplished nothing with my life. So yes, I'm very excited for this one. I can't wait to see all of my faves again and cry when they all get brutally killed off. Next up, I have Rain and Delilah's Midnight Matinee by Jeff Zentner. I still don't know how to pronounce his surname. I'm so sorry. But also, how beautiful is this cover? I'm a sucker for purple covers, so of course I had to get this one. So this book is about 2 girls who have a TV show they run, which is like really low budget and kind of horror, and it's just like a weird mishmash of stuff. But senior year is coming and they have some big decisions to make. They have to figure out whether they're gonna stay in their hometown or move to a big city and follow their filmmaking dreams. This sounds like such a fun book. I'm really interested in filmmaking and script writing and everything, so hopefully this one will be right up my alley. I love Jeff's other books that I've read, and yeah, I just have really high hopes for this one. I'm always up for cute new contemporaries, so hopefully this one will be right up my alley. The next book I'm excited to read is Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I feel like is a book that everyone has been screaming about recently. Like, I cannot log onto social media without seeing this beautiful cover somewhere on my feed. This is a queer new adult novel about the first son of America and a Prince of Wales who have to pretend to be friends because of like the country politics things. and then they start falling in love. This is the one that I'm planning on reading first. I've heard such amazing things. I've heard that it's really cute and swoony, and I know that I'm just gonna devour it. Next up, I have Kindred 12 Queer Lovers YA Stories, which is our June book of the month here at the YA Room. I have been screaming about this book non-stop, so I wouldn't be surprised if you already know everything about it. I went to the launch a couple weeks ago, which was absolutely incredible. Oh my god, it is the best thing I've ever been to. There were teen drag performers, teens reading excerpts from the book. There were 7 of the contributing authors, rainbow cupcakes, just everything about it was amazing. It really stepped up these launches and took it to a whole new level. And Michael, you should be so proud of that. Like, it was just mind-blowing. So I cannot wait to read the anthology and hear from all of the 12 authors themselves. I have had a sneak peek and read the first story and I loved it. So I cannot wait to continue. Seriously, I think this is going to be a new favorite book of mine. It's so important to share these queer stories, and I know so many teenagers are going to pick up this book and it's going to mean so much to them. Next up, I'm going to listen to the audiobook of Hot Dog Girl, which is about a girl who works in a theme park dressed up as a hot dog, you guessed it, and she tries to convince her best friend to help her get in the good side with her crush. However, her friend is not super keen, and that's because she has a crush on her. Doesn't that sound like the most adorable book you've ever read? I love carnivals, and this sounds so sweet and so swoony and so queer. Of course, I'm all here for that. I've heard amazing things about this one as well, and yeah, I'm just so excited to read it. Hopefully the audiobook is good, but nevertheless, I'm sure I'll just devour it. Next up, I'll be listening to Kings, Queens, and In-Betweens, which is a book about a girl called Nima who is bored with her really insular life that she's living. One night she discovers the world of drag and everything changes. She finds herself immersed in this new culture that she never really knew existed, and it just sounds wonderfully amazing. I haven't read any YA books about drag culture or drag kings or queens, so fingers crossed I absolutely adored this one. I haven't heard too much about it, but I love the cover, I love the premise, so hopefully I'll love this book just as much as I anticipated. The last audiobook I'll be listening to while I'm away is We Contain Multitudes, which is another queer book. Is anyone surprised? This is a book about 2 guys in a class who are assigned with the task of writing to each other like pen pals. Through these letters, they discuss things like homophobia and bullying and their family situations, and they end up growing really close through this method of communication. This book sounds so sweet. It's kind of giving me Love, Simon vibes, and I've also heard it's a bit like Ari and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, so very excited. And lastly, I will be reading the ebook of Royals by Rachel Hawkins. To be fair, the only reason why I'm reading this book is because I've heard the spin-off Her Royal Highness is queer and the protag is bi, and I'm so excited to read that one, but I figured I should probably read this one first. It's about this girl called Daisy whose sister is set to marry a prince, and then she has to go and figure out how to actually be royal, and she goes to this palace to be taught all the royal like culture and all of that. I feel like this is just gonna be another cute contemporary, which is always good to read on vacation, and once I finish that, then I'll be able to read Her Royal Highness, which I'm really excited for. So those are the 8 books that I'm planning on reading on vacation. Fingers crossed I really enjoyed them, and hopefully I'll get some time to read even more. If you've read any of these, please do let me know what you thought of them, or if they're on your TBR, I would love to hear that as well. But that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone!